At the conclusion of a routine hospital visit, the doctor broke the unfortunate news to his patient. "I hate to tell you this, but you only have 4 weeks to live." The anxious man frantically asked, "Well, what can I do?" The doctor replied, "Well, if I were you, I would buy a pig farm in rural Arkansas, move my wife and mother-in-law to live with me in the farmhouse with no electricity or indoor plumbing." "Will that make me live longer?" the man asked. "No," the doctor said, "but it'll be the longest 4 weeks of your life." Robert Frost pens these words in his poem "Tree at My Window." "Tree, I have seen you taken and tossed, and if you have seen me when I slept, you have seen me when I was taken and swept and all but lost." The poet Frost had seen the branches of the tree outside his bedroom window tossed back and forth due to the unpredictable forces of the wind. As well, he envisions the tree seeing him, tossing and turning in restless sleep. Can you relate to Frost's imagery? Have you found yourself so overwhelmed with uncertainty about the future that it leaves you sleeplessly tossing and turning in bed? The Apostle Paul could relate to Frost's words. When Paul was imprisoned in the town of Philippi, each night he wondered what lay ahead the next day. Would he face beatings, or worse, execution? Had he been abandoned and left to die alone in prison? So if anyone understood what it means to feel distressed, it was the Apostle Paul. Yet surprisingly, here's what he wrote in his letter from prison. "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." Instead of being overwhelmed with anxiety, Paul was able to experience the peace of God, a peace that transcends all understanding. And how was he able to do this? The key is found in the words prayer and thanksgiving. Paul says before we present our requests to God, we should reflect and offer up prayers of thanksgiving. A good friend of mine, Pastor Bob Russell, recently wrote a blog post in which he shared how he was struggling with anxiety and decided to put into practice this idea of praying with thanksgiving. When he knelt down to pray, he spent a considerable amount of time simply giving thanks to God for all he had done for Bob over the years. He gave thanks for his Christian parents, for the impact of individuals like his pastors and teachers, for specific life experiences, and for his own children, his grandchildren. At the end of his blog, he wrote, "By the time I was finished reviewing my life, I was blubbering with thanksgiving and overwhelmed with God's providence. I felt confident what God had done in the past, He would do again. And I experienced a renewed peace that transcends understanding." The next time we're facing anxieties or uncertainty about the future, maybe we should pause for a quiet moment with God and simply say, "Thank you for all His blessings." That's something to consider.